Hello, everyone. You asked for it. This is all on you. It's not on me. Last week, you guys said you should just roast and some kitchens from viewers, and I'm like, okay, well, if you guys send enough emails and pictures, then we'll do that. So I'm not holding myself responsible or accountable. It's totally on you guys. So enough of you sent me some pictures of your kitchens. We're going to lightly roast them, go through them, and critique them in a way that hopefully will be constructive and also just maybe instructional for anyone who's looking to do a kitchen renovation. If you're in that process now, whether you're doing a complete new kitchen, you're building a kitchen, or you have an older kitchen that you're trying to add things to make it more functional, hopefully this will be helpful. And I'm also bringing on a special guest, which I haven't announced yet. You'll see who that is in one quick second. Um, and the people's kitchens who I'm looking at, I will let them in the chat identify themselves. So if they don't want to be identified, that's fine. But if in the chat they say, "Hey, that's my kitchen," then cool. We'll dig in a little deeper with them, and maybe in the chat, if they're watching, they can add some comments as well. They did send me some notes to tell me like what their maybe thought process was behind some of the decisions that they were making, and so I'm going to read a few of those as well as we look at these. But first, let's bring on our special guest. She's an OTR aficionado. She's my number one go-to if I need someone dealt with here on the live stream, even if it's myself. And we're bringing on Jackie Henderson. Jackie of all trades, of course. Thank you so much for
Hi,
being here.
everybody. So glad to be here. Thank you so much, Mark, for having me on. It's been a little while since I was on here with you all, but I'm really excited. And
Yeah.
excited to see everybody. I see the comments are coming in. And yes, OTR lover Matthew Matthew knew it was me. But I'm happy
So
to be
Jackie
here.
reached out and said, "Hey, I'll come on with you live." And I'm like, "That'd be awesome because, it's funner when we can, have a few more people on. It's always great. And otherwise, just me talking to myself in a room. So this is cool, Jackie. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to look at some of these kitchens. And of course, I did say that I would also roast my own kitchen. So the very last kitchen we'll roast is my own, and I'll go through that and pick out some of the points that I don't even like about my own kitchens, just to be fair to everyone else, since I'm, digging into your kitchens a little bit.
Oh, hi,
I'll
Gammy's
also do
on.
that. And is someone you know there?
Gammy.
Oh, yeah. I know Gammy too, actually. She didn't say I was amazing. Look, she didn't even say hi to me. What's going on? Oh, man.
Oh, Terry did.
All right.
Hi. Oh,
So
okay.
let's just dive into this
Nick,
first one.
you
I'll
guys.
bring up this first kitchen and we'll start to have a look. I briefly went through these a little bit and just to give myself, a little bit idea. But Jackie, this is the first time you're seeing some of these. So this is our first kitchen, and this kitchen is renovation, of course. And I know the person's on right now because I see them. So if they want to identify themselves, they can. But otherwise, I'm going to just say keep them anonymous for now. But I'm going to bring up a couple notes here that I wanted to say about this. Because it's important to understand that I'm looking at this without really any context. Vonda says that's her kitchen. So this is Vonda's kitchen. Vonda joins all the time on the live stream. So this is
Beautiful.
Vonda's. And so thanks, Vonda, for being a part of this and let me look at your kitchen tonight, and everyone look at it, of course. And Vonda, of course, in the past has been saying, and updating us about her kitchen renovation. So it's great to see this, and we're going to look through this. I'm going to go through this kindly. But Vonda did specifically say, "Be nice." So, so no worries, Vonda. I'm going to be super nice about this. A couple things she mentioned was that these that they kept the same layout for this renovation, and she said it worked for their family of 7 for 25 years. So if something isn't broken, there's no need in fixing it, and if the layout works, it works. And
Right.
so I just want to point that out, because anytime we look at this out of context, just as a kitchen, we say, well, you should have done this, you should have done that. There's all kinds of should have, you done's, but this has worked for them, and so that's important to mention. And she said she doesn't have it fully decorated yet because they're still unpacking. But I did notice, Vonda, you do have the Pellegrino and the limes and the lemons in the photos. So good on you, because that's what makes a great kitchen photo.
That's Pinterest ready right there.
That's Pinterest ready, yeah. And we're going to have a look through here. She says she's got Well, we'll go through this and see. But she did say there's no OTR, Jackie. So just
Well,
so
I can't see one, but in spirit, I
you're
know it's.
aware. We'll get to that. There is no OTR. So we're 0 for 1 on the OTRs. Two types of surfaces, granite and quartz. We'll look at that as well.
Love it.
And so we'll go through this. But first impressions, it looks really nice and clean
Yes.
and beautiful. So nice flooring. I really like this. So good so far. I want to point out something, and that is, let's see if I can go to. Hold on. Let me get to the next slide here. All right. So this kitchen has a Peninsula, which is great extra work surface. And I do want to say, if you are thinking about adding a Peninsula or an island to your kitchen, there's always that question: do I have enough room to add either or? And as we'll see in a few more pictures, this kitchen isn't like super wide or open. There's another wall here that basically we don't see, and really would make it too confined if we had an island. So adding this peninsula, and I'm assuming this peninsula had previously been there if it's the same layout. So perfect. Nothing wrong with having that extra workspace, and so all good there. But Jackie, what's your first thoughts? People are loving it so far. So
I know. I'm looking at all these comments, and they're getting to the stuff that I was going to talk about: the 10 backsplash, the wonderful lighting that she's got in there, the beautiful apron front sink. It's just gorgeous. I love her coordination with the hardware and the faucet, and that's a very unique color. I don't know, what is that, a bronze kind of,
yeah,
or
looks like a brushed, bronzy color. It is beautiful.
and it's out of the norm, so it's not usual. That's the thing that draws my eye to it. And also, I guess you wouldn't call it a sconce, whatever the light fixture is hanging right above the sink
Yeah,
there, like pendant
yeah,
light. It's also
and
in the same theme. I love it. It's beautiful.
yeah, that's one of the nicer farmhouse workstation sinks I've seen.
Yes.
Yeah, really nice.
I'm wondering how many functions it has, though. I see you got your cutting board there, the drying rack. I wonder what all's under there. You should probably, open our own restaurant with that thing. It's heavy duty. That's lovely, actually.
All the gadgets.
Yeah. Hashtag jealous over
Kara
here.
says this: "What's to roast? This is beautiful."
Yeah. Now, Vonda, I know she's been going through. How long did it take from start to finish? So, because it's been like 3-4 months, or has it been
Yeah, it's
longer?
been a while. It's been a while. I don't know, but she can let us know how
Yeah.
long. I'm gonna switch to the next slide here,
Mhm.
because I do
Ooh,
want to roast one particular thing, Jackie.
I see. Okay.
You know what it is already.
No, no,
You,
no, no,
you,
no.
come on,
I see some, some cooling factors in here, some, you know, to make sure you're not too hot. And I'm a fan of that. I know some people have opinions, but I see nothing in here to roast. Nothing.
Perfect. Jackie's keeping me in check. That is for sure. I had to pick this out because how could I not point out the ceiling fan? Obviously, to each their own on the ceiling fan, and it's all good. Moving right along. I wanted to mention this
I
because
saw
Vonda
that.
did mention that she didn't put in an OTR, which is fine. It almost looks like there maybe could have been one there before. Maybe Vonda, did you have one before? Vonda's saying it took months from start to finish.
Yeah.
And so they have this base microwave shelf, and it's not a built-in. So when we get
Hmm.
to my kitchen later, I'll tell you why I kind of like this, is because you can replace it a whole lot easier for a lot cheaper
Hmm.
than trying to replace a built-in microwave that fits a particular size.
Yeah.
So this is a great choice to have just an open shelf that you can actually, like, make the microwave bigger or smaller if you wanted to.
I like
I do
that.
like the look of a built-in, but when it comes to replacing it, which is what I'm in the midst of now, it's a real pain.
And that's another thing I was thinking about, Mark. If she like gets to the point, because she said she had a family of 7, right? So I'm sure the family dynamic is changing at this point. If she ever gets to the point where she doesn't need the microwave anymore, she can repurpose that shelf for other things. She can put some lighting under there, maybe her cookbooks or something like that. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of multi-purpose. When I see it, I see possibilities. But I'm not hating on it. I am an OTR fan, especially when space needs require that. But I do like this placement. Works.
Jackie, you're getting too many comments on your glasses, so I gotta get in the race.
Actually, I'll be honest, I have a bit of an issue. I have 35 pairs of glasses. My daughter says I need therapy. I used to, on my last job when I was working with Congress, I used to host all of these webinars,
Too
and
much.
I probably have just in this drawer maybe 10 pairs of glasses right here. So this is what I do.
Oh, I can't even compete. This is the only pair I got.
My daughter says you need therapy. Stop buying glasses. Nope, this wasn't the ones I had on, was it? Nope. These are nice. Thank you. All right, I'll go back to these.
All right, I'll take mine off. It look ridiculous. I like those glasses, actually. All right, so yeah, that's a good point because you can repurpose that space later, and not challenging to do. Even if you wanted to put a door or insert a drawer on something like that, that's very possible. So it is very good. Vonda's saying her favorite is the refrigerator. So very nice
It's
fridge. I'm going to point out
refrigerator.
something about this too. Let me just go to the next one. Well, I'll point this out first. I'm assuming Vonda, and I don't know for sure, but this is a full pull-out pantry unit. So I'm guessing that door doesn't hinge, but it pulls out with the pantry unit on it. So, which is a really great feature for a pantry that size.
Yes.
Because when you get a narrower pantry with pullouts, the boxes of the pullets themselves gets pretty small. So you're able to store less. So this is a great way to do it. Good question. Does a microwave that's inside a shelf but not built in need venting? Well, the microwave itself has venting built into it, into the unit itself, and it's because it's open, it's vented enough so that can operate fine. So, and if it's a built-in, those units also have vents on it as well. So, like mine in particular, the air blows up from the top of it, and but in this unit, there'd be enough space. So that's cool. I love these pantry units.
And I think that's pretty. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was actually. So you see, you've got your arrow there pointing. Now you've got my mind on this pot filler. But I was looking at that angle, that angle into whatever that, if it's a dining room or whatever it is back there. I like how they've accounted for that and kind of angled the shelving or the cabinetry and kind of rounded that corner off so it's not a square corner. I like that.
Yeah, keep the clearances, and that's a good way to do it. Yeah, I was looking at this pot filler. A video I did a few weeks ago about trends. Jackie had the pot filler on it, and there is a huge, like, some people love it and some people hate it, but there's a lot of opinion on the pot filler. So I've never had one. I don't know, but it's either people really don't like them or people do love them. So Vonda, I don't know if you had enough chance to use this enough, but I'd love to hear your experience with it and your thought process as to why. Oh, there you go. It's her husband's request and he loves it. So he got something out of the deal. That's good.
Do you see the hero spouse's comment there?
I'm having a challenge convincing my husband about no OTR. Though I'm being insistent. I'd like one built into a cabinet, but didn't see one the other day at Lowe's. Or are they hard to find? They're not hard to find. They just might be hard to find at Lowe's. So you may need to go to an actual appliance or furniture store because those big box stores really prioritize OTRs. You'll see all kinds of OTRs. Yeah. So if you're looking for something else, then you may need to go to another type of store where they'll sell them, but they're not hard to find.
And that reminds me, by the way, I don't know if it's all of North America, Mark, or if it's just the United States, but today's May 1st, and May is Major Appliance Month here in the United States. And that generally means right around Memorial Day, all the appliances start going on sale. So if you wanted to buy a major appliance for your kitchen, like statistically, they say May is the month to buy. And Maytag in particular claims the whole month for
Oh, wow.
Maytags. You can usually get at least 25% off of Maytag appliances during the month of May.
There you go. This video is not sponsored.
just
All
a
right.
tip.
So this is some of Vonda's family. What is an OTR? So an OTR is an over-the-range microwave, which your mom was, she done good in not choosing one of those. Sorry, Jackie.
I'm an OTR lover. I do not apologize. I am not in a closet somewhere hiding my identity. This person here loves the OTR. If you have
Yeah,
one, it's beautiful, and don't feel like you need to hide.
right. No, people do approach this with trepidation when I go on client calls, and they're like, "I kind of want an OTR." I'm like, "It's okay. You don't have to. I'm not gonna get on your back. That's all good. You gotta do what works for you." But yeah, no, it's the pot fillers great. They say they love it. They're saying they use it all the time here. Yeah, the pot filler saves time in lifting. So yeah, I mean, if you're using it, it's great and you love it, awesome, go for it. I think that's a really important factor when you're, designing a kitchen and adding things to a kitchen that you want.
Mm.
Then add them. Add whatever you want that you're going to use that you like. That's the main thing. And whether I like it or Jackie likes it or whoever likes it, we're not living there. So make sure it is exactly what you want. And so it's good to hear. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, Jackie, I picked that out as well when I was looking at this because about clearances
Hmm.
and then just allowing you to extend the wall cabinets as well on that side. So it would make sense to have the wall cabinets extended without having that angle. So that's something that's pretty common and good to have. So
You see Edward Casper's comment there about the pot filler.
an OTR pot filler. Well, that's yeah, I guess he's right.
What it
It's
is.
an over the range. There you go. I guess something else I got to be worried about.
There you
I
go.
wanted to mention this because I bring this up a lot when I look at kitchens, and I mentioned this last week, I believe, about the panel. And you can see how this panel, if you look down by the microwave, how it's built out a little bit, and that countertop just fits into the side of it quite nicely. So
Hmm.
it's just one of those fine details that I look at that say, oh, this was somebody thought about that and they built that in nicely. You don't see any of the fridge other than just the reveal of the door, which is a much nicer look. So this is a great job, Vonda, on this part. I really I look for this a lot in kitchens, and there'll be another kitchen coming up that we'll talk about that in a minute. But so that's really good. Those little details I really love. Now I did want to ask, and I don't know, Jackie, if you noticed this, but we have the faux tin. I think it's faux tin. I think that's the vinyl stuff
Hmm.
that Home Depot has, that's fine. And then
Hmm.
we have the tile. So Vonda did mention in her email that she's an artist, so I'm assuming this was done for that
Hmm.
reason, that she wanted to add some of that maybe personality flair
Flair.
and just that style. Which is totally fine. But I will point out this probably isn't something we see all the time,
Hmm.
which
Well,
is fine.
I think this,
What's
this is
metal?
probably the first photo that I've seen, with the two sets of backsplash kind of meeting. I did not notice that before. I don't think that there's anything objectionable about it. I like it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's cool. It's like, again, it's
Just-
like you make decisions,
yep.
you think about like how you want it and you do it. And I think this is cool because like, yeah, this is not something likely that you would just pick up on Instagram or something like Vonda. You probably thought this on your own, which, and I mean that in the way that a lot of people look at pictures and then they just copy those things.
Right. Yeah.
But this is like, no, this is like my style. This is my taste. This is what I want to do. So that's really cool. And it's metal apparently, which is really surprising. So that's cool that it is actually metal, which is really
I
cool.
love creative people. I myself am creative. I have, well, we'll see my kitchen, I guess, in a bit. Some of you have already seen it and seen my videos on that. But I I say go for what you want. And one of the things that I noticed about the metal is it looks like she's got under cabinet lighting. And so it also is brightening the space because it's kind of reflective. So I like that aspect too.
And she didn't go with boring subway tiles like I do. She
Yeah.
went with a really cool tile. So that's
Yeah.
nice.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I
a
like it.
for
It's
subway
great. Nice
time.
reflection, nice and bright. So cool, cool. Okay. Some kitchens, when you are renovating them, there's some things you just can't do because of window placements and sink placements and a door and the width of the wall. And so in this kitchen, I'm assuming, and again, Vonda can correct us here, that sink base is just a sink base, and this corner is completely just a filler. Um, Generally speaking, when you're designing a kitchen, and I'll just use this, they did this because they had to do this way.
Mhm.
However, if you're designing a kitchen, always try to figure out a way that you can create a little bit of space between those two, appliances. I'll call the sink an appliance for the sake of this, between those two things, because one, it's a real bottleneck area, and in terms of just opening the door on the bottom of the cabinet with the range there, and banging it into it with the handle and stuff. So again, but it's important to understand that this is done because there is no really other way to do
Mhm.
this, and if it was like this before, then likely they're quite used to having this. But hey, well, I'm not complaining because you don't have to worry about this corner, which is how I feel about that.
I don't know what she's going to say. It says it's a sink base with storage and it does not hit the stove.
Doesn't need a stove? Okay, perfect. So
Because,
and that's good.
and we'll see mine in a second, but it actually, I mean, there's a cabinet there. I can't remember how many inches it is between the stove and that bank, but the actual cabinet goes all the way to the back wall. But these were all custom built in the 70s, like,
Right.
so it's one a big, large cabinet that the sink base sits on, but that area over there is completely empty and you can store stuff back there.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is it doesn't hit the stove. So that's good. But the idea is that those are the things you want to be watching for. So you want to make sure that you're not hitting your stove, and that you do have, enough workability around that space.
Mhm.
Again, there's no it is what it is because of the room that you had, and if you in any situation when you're designing a kitchen, those are some of the things you're thinking about. How do I create more space in this area to make it a little more functional? When you can't, you can't, and you go with what works. And it's been working, so there's no point in changing it at this point. You can't really see this as well in some of the pictures, but I like the fact that there is a range hood there because it doesn't look like there was one, but there is a built-in range hood, which is
Mhm.
really sleek, and I like it. Um, I like these hidden ones more so than some of the ones that kind of stick out and look like a rain hood. So this is a great way to do it, and good to have the ventilation there. Vonda, is it vented outside though? I want to know that. You can let us know if it's vented. She says we can have 3 or 4 adults in the kitchen.
Excellent. Yeah, and it looks like it does provide proper clearance to make room for that pot filler too. So that's a good option.
And one of the things about pot fillers that I have been getting comments about is, well, you still have to carry the thing to the sink, but
Hmm.
Vonda doesn't have to really go that far.
No, sink's right
Sink's right
there.
there. It's like not that big a deal to empty this thing.
Hmm.
Really just slide it and dump it, and you're good to go. Um, so, in a situation like this with a pot filler, you don't have to really travel that far anyway. So you kind of negate that being an issue. She says not vented outside. Oh, okay, well, if you can vent it outside, please do. If you can't, you can't. Recirculate it and move on. And the big thing with ventilation is getting moisture out, and that's really something that's important to do. So if you because the recirculation doesn't really take care of the moisture.
Well, in
But
my kitchen, I noticed we before we did the refresh that we did, we were recirculating, and one of the things that I found I was having problem with like grease and grime buildup like it was like on the walls and on the cabinets. And, you know, I did that for 7 years. It worked. It was just an extra step that I had to take every once in a while to make sure everything stayed clean because,
Mhm.
but now that I'm venting outside, I notice I don't have that problem. So,
Right. Yeah.
you know, it must have helped with that.
Yeah. There's definitely a benefit to it if you can.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that moisture isn't an issue in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Well, there
True
you
too.
go.
Your climate can really make a difference. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we got the angled cabinet. We got the pot filler. The lighting. So this lighting in this kitchen's really well lit.
Yes.
So, it's obviously nighttime, so there's no outside light coming in from the sun, and, everything is very well lit, very visible, so that's good. And I don't know if these lights were new, if these are new pot lights or can lights, or if they're just placed there originally. I will say this, when you're placing lights, you do wanna be strategic about where they're placed
Mm-hmm.
and not worry too much about them being, in a particular pattern, which is fine too, if that's the way you wanna do it, but I will advise you that if you are putting lights in a kitchen, put the light exactly where you need it so you're not creating shadows and you're getting the work surfaces and the parts of your kitchen lit up to the best that you can. But this kitchen is really well lit and obviously they're not going to have any problem seeing what you're doing here. So that's great.
She says they're all new.
They're all new. Yeah. Okay.
Very nice. And from this angle, I see that the Peninsula has seating. I
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah.
tell the other photos, so that's really
Yeah. And
nice.
I think she
Like that.
mentioned there's enough leg room. She said two things that were important. One, there's no OTR, and two, they stayed under budget. So that's good. I mean, at the end of the day, you stay under budget, excellent. And I think she said there's enough leg room. Yeah, we made sure there was enough seating or enough leg room when seating. So, because that's one of the things I go on about quite a bit is the fact that when you're sitting there, your knees are buckled into the back of the panel or the door. So just always making sure that you have, the proper amount for you and what you need. So that's different for everybody. There's no just one size fits all. Vonda, everyone's loving it, by the way. We got a lot of comments saying so I think you can be pretty happy. Not that you need us to tell you that, because I think you already know you did a great job here. And
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm in mid revision. How do I get judged? Send me your photos. We'll judge you, no problem. Here's a nitpick. What is the nitpick? I would not have seating all the way to the door panes. I hope it opens on the other side. I think that is a double patio door, if I'm not
Mhm.
mistaken. Let me go back a couple. Sorry. Monty, let me just. Yeah.
Yep.
Both might open. Yeah. I mean, the issue with. Let me just go ahead again to that one. Let me just scroll ahead. Sorry. With that seat in particular, are we almost there?
Yep. There you go.
Yeah. The issue with that seat anyway is that when you're sitting there, your face is kind of in the wall cabinet. Um, but you sit on an angle. I don't think it's that big of a deal where it's that close to the door.
Right, because there's also behind there's a seating nook there. So
Yeah.
this looks like overflow seating to me because it wouldn't
Yeah.
be the first place people would sit. It's
No,
if
it's
you
not
have
your main seating. Yeah. And
people.
it opens into the great room, she said. So
Hmm.
she's taking care of it. All right, let's go on to this next one, which I really love. So this isn't just a close up of the Pellegrino and the lime, but check out the lights. I want to just point out the lights here. Excellent, nice strip light, and it's at the front of the wall cabinet, which is generally where I like to have it as well.
Hmm.
Some people put them in the center, but when it's out closer to the front, it just gives you that beam spread, towards the center. So that's really cool. And these outlets, check those out. Aren't
Yeah,
they
that's
awesome?
the thing that drew my eye. And I'm looking over here because I get a better shot of the outlets. But um, I think that is fabulous. I haven't seen them like that before. So I'm really impressed and very jealous. Actually, that's very clean. I love it.
Yeah, that's super. I've never seen those ones before, so
Batting a
those are
thousand.
really,
Beautiful.
yeah, really good. Michael said you just thank you. Uh, I never check my DMs, so thanks for mentioning it because I'll actually go look. If anyone wants to get a hold of me for any reason, um, email me is the best. So that's my email because I totally ignore social media.
The first time I attempted to contact Mark, it was through a DM on Instagram. Yeah, that just went nowhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I ever get back to you?
No. It was you and Amy's channel, I believe. So
Okay, right.
yeah, and I DM'd
Yeah.
and anything back.
I'm just not into socials. This is social for me, so we'll do that. Yeah, but those light fixtures are awesome. And I'll mention the overhang again, and plus there's some extra storage under there that you can see. So
Mhm.
they reclaimed the use of that kind of dead area on the back of the peninsula, which is, a very common thing to do. It's not anything new, but it
It's got a
is
chocolate
worthy to
lab.
point out.
I have a chocolate lab named Oliver. Oh, this is so gorgeous. Your dog and my dog could be friends, Vonda. They look almost alike. I'm sorry. We're talking kitchens, but I got distracted by the dog. I'm sorry.
No problem. Squirrel. The outlets are the way to go. Yeah, Vonda. All right. Well, everyone loves your kitchen, Vonda. People are stealing your ideas.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Alan Sands, it's a beautiful and practical kitchen. Adorable idea. And that's
Gorgeous.
Lola. Lola and Oliver. All right.
Lola.
She's a red lab. Well, she's a lab.
Uh-huh.
Close enough.
Yep.
Sweet. So this is good. I think that's the last one of those. Dog pick for the win. Well, that was good. So that was a really good first start. I don't think there's any more from Vonda. Let me just check. No, oh no, there is one more. There's one more, which is it's my favorite photo that she sent. It takes the cake. It's just, it's unbelievable.
Oh, I love it.
You know what
And
can I say?
I can see the granite better and the bench a little bit better. I was not as clear on what was going on in that area until this picture, but that's not what immediately draws my eye, of course, about this photo. So the best possible program that could be on is actually on the television at this time. So
Too
pretty
funny.
awesome, Vonda. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think she's trying to get bonus points. But it's a cool placement for a television,
Yes.
which is hard to find in a kitchen. Usually they seem out of place, but it seems like a pretty good placement. And yeah, I love this little seating area. This is
Right.
the different countertop she mentioned. So this is the granite, it looks like, and yeah, they just L shaped it on the back there, which is cool. And
Right. Yeah. It creates a little nook there. And then
yeah,
probably it depends on the doors look like they open the other way. So that's probably not an issue.
yeah, those open in, she said, to that other room. So that's really cool. And you can't see it in this photo, but the bench there on the bottom
Mhm.
has the metal tin
Yeah.
as well. So that was pretty cool. If you picked that up in a previous photo. So this is really really great. So Vonda, great job.
Right.
Um,
And then that
and
bench fabric, it also goes back to that apron sink. It just reminds me of, it just kind of complements the apron sink front,
all right, yeah,
it just kind of looks like they're all just complimenting each other. I love that.
excellent. Yeah, this is a great. So I think someone said, we set the bar pretty high here. So that's good. We're going to move on to the next kitchen. Vonda, and thanks everyone. So thank you, Vonda, for sending in the pictures of this and just going out on a limb here, trusting us with your kitchen, and and hopefully you feel that we did an okay job, not roasting it too hard. I shouldn't say this is a roast. It's more like a light toasting.
Yeah, I call it just even grilling is it's a too much. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
saute.
Is it? Yeah, just a little, medium rare. What do they call a rare steak? Blue or
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah.
All right, and you got kids watching from Texas. That's cool.
All
Thanks for being on,
right.
supporting your
From
mom.
Texas.
That's awesome.
So
All
love
right.
Texas.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go to the next kitchen. This is I've seen this person on as well, and they can identify themselves. But I will mention this. I'll say a few things here what they sent me, and we'll start chatting about this kitchen. So obviously this is a newly renovated kitchen, and they said that this is they're selling soon. So the
Ah,
reason so they there's always decisions you make because you're selling, and there's decisions you make because you're going to live there for however long you're going to live there. Um,
and then
and
Nick said the vanilla ice cream of kitchens. But if you are selling soon, I think that's what you want. I definitely think you want to make sure people can come in and see how they can make the space their own rather than, it being to your taste. If you're going to sell, I mean, then you have that option.
Yes, it is the vanilla ice cream of kitchens.
And vanilla is my favorite type of ice cream. It's not my favorite type of kitchen, but it is my favorite type of ice cream. So.
Well, there you go. It is my favorite type of kitchen. The layout was dictated by existing plumbing, electrical windows, and cost, which is all
Mhm.
important to
Right.
preface. And we reclaimed a lot of space on the wall for a much bigger pantry, which we'll see in a minute. And the opposite side had unused space for a tube TV entertainment center. I guess it's just which I don't think there's a picture of, but we'll look at that wall anyway. So there's no base corner cabinet, no OTR, so O for 2, and LVT flooring, quartz countertops, range, single basin sink, and lighting. So let's have a quick glance here. Obviously, very well done, very nice and clean. And I only have a few things I really want to say about this. I do have one critique on this one that I'm going to mention, but it is in the context of this is renovated to sell, which is
Mhm.
important. And there's all these decisions about there's certain things we can't move, there's certain things we can't do, and we're trying to stay on budget. So you gotta
Mhm.
call Vonda if you wanna stay on budget. She did it right, so all right. Uh, let's go to the first thing. So I'm gonna mention this, yeah, Nick is commenting here because it's obviously telling us it's his, so, this is Nick's kitchen. So the ice cream comment was, that was from him. So I want to mention this. This isn't wrong, or not that I don't like it or anything like that. You'll notice the range has the range hood, and there's no wall cabinets around that, which I think is
Right.
great. Great idea. It's definitely something that's trendy, but not only trendy, it's very workable in a kitchen this big, not to have just wall cabinets everywhere. Sometimes you can also just prioritize wall cabinets on the fridge wall, and I would have liked to see, and maybe they did. I would have liked to see what this looked like without those wall cabinets there.
Mhm.
Um, to speak because for me, I look at symmetry, and I just get maybe a little bit too much, and so I would have liked to see what that would have looked like with that part of the wall also open. Maybe it wouldn't look good, maybe it would, but those are some of the things that kind of go through my mind. Again, I'm not roasting this decision. Those are when I'm designing kitchens, I would have also designed this to see what that would have looked like. So I'm just saying that to everyone here who is designing kitchens, or if they're going through that process, get a few iterations of what things can look like with and without certain things, so you can get a feel of the overall end result. And then if you come away with this being what you really want, then that's the way you go. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's all I really want to mention about that. And I like the fact that this window as well just has drywall returns, so there's no casing. I think that's a real sleek look for sure. Here's the
Nice.
back wall he was mentioning with the big pantries. I think one of them he mentioned was entertainment center.
Mhm.
If I'm correct, you can let me know. But And then I think one is a pantry, if I'm not correct, or if I am correct. Yeah. So lots of storage, a really big open space, which is great. And honestly, if you walked into this kitchen and you're in, okay, last week we looked at some kitchens from, $1 million homes,
Mhm.
and none of the kitchens were really this nice. So that goes to tell you right there. I don't know what they're going to sell it for, but I'm just saying we looked at $1 million homes and they didn't have nice kitchens like this. So is this a $5 million home? Like, I don't know. Like, compared
Nick,
to the kitchen,
Nick's got deep pockets. What can we say?
it's good.
Oh,
All right,
11 bucks.
so this was my beef. Okay, now y'all know I already mentioned this all the time. I mentioned with the Vondas how they did it. Now there's a return wall there. Maybe that return wall isn't deep enough to house a full 24-inch deep cabinet. Looks like it is. So I just always like to see a fridge panel, but so there might be a reason for it that I don't know about, and Nick can let us know if there is or if there isn't. But when you're designing a kitchen, try to put a fridge panel if you can. That's my only thing about this kitchen that I would say I would have probably wanted to put a fridge panel there. You know, usually that's what I would like to do, just to keep anything from going in behind that. However, it's a very sleek look. Like it doesn't look, you know, doesn't look bad, and they have this flush cabinet on top, so that's all good.
Right. I like it. I mean, I also don't have a panel right there. I wish I did, but I do not. Again, I was working with existing what I had. But I don't really find that it's a problem with too much stuff like falling back there or anything like that. So um, it does look really clean even that way, but it would, I think it would do well with a panel there if it was possible.
Sub-mill. So there you go. I mean,
Hmm.
this kitchen blows those other ones out of the water that we looked at before.
They need Nick to come help them design theirs.
Yeah. All right, time and cost. Here we go. Time and cost on the fridge panel. Could have done it, but too much else to do in the house. So I mean, that's the things. And of course, I'm commenting out of context. Of course, all the kitchens I look at, all these realtor sites and all that stuff. I don't know the story. So this is cool because you get to hear, oh well, I would have, but I couldn't because of other things. That's cool.
Hmm.
Because there's always reasons why you do things. And from what I can tell, Nick knows what he's doing because of other comments and stuff. So it's not like he's never seen a kitchen before. Now, he mentioned cost. So keep that in mind.
I'm wondering if Nick was able to stay under budget on his.
I wonder.
Oh, look, I get credit too.
Jackie,
All I do
there
is
you
give
go.
people the boot.
Right? I thought everyone was just scared of you. I'm scared of you. I was in my own chat the other night. I'm like, I better not kick off Jackie. I'm gonna get booted.
Yeah, no, Mark's got a brilliant kitchen mind, and he can walk in to a space and immediately, like within the first 5 seconds, he spots ideas that are wonderful, and then things that need to be changed. And so there's something to be said for that professional eye. I do not have
Thank
that
you.
eye or that training. I'm just Jackie of all trades, which means most of the time I'm just posing. But Mark is the real deal. Speaking of which, if you need a design consultation, please check out the information in the description below this video. Mark Tobin, your very own right here, if you want to schedule a consultation, can sit down with you for an hour and talk about ideas on how to make your kitchen design better. If you have one already and you want to bring it to him for critique, that's fine. If you don't have one and just want to kick around ideas, he's up for that too.
You do that way better than I do it. I take so many takes when I try to do that for my videos. It's hilarious. Thank you. I'll just plop this. Maybe you should do a recording of that and send it to me. Budget was about 45K with labor. Drawers are obviously more expensive than doors. So I mean, I'm going to point out the drawers,
Mhm.
and then that comes down to cost because drawers are always more expensive, and they made that decision based on budget. This is something that you could easily insert pullouts into, when you buy this kitchen, not hard to do. And I would always recommend that use drawers when you can, use pullouts otherwise. And then, if you have to add them in later on, you add them in later on. But
Right.
again, he's just mentioning that it's all budget decisions. And this is a big kitchen,
Yep.
of course, because, you have a lot of cabinets here. And, Mike's saying this is cheap from what I've seen lately. Oh, actually, thought I hit the wrong one. That's cheap. Yeah.
I'm looking at Michael saying I accidentally sent
Oh,
pictures from
pictures of
my
my dog.
dog Instagram
Don't worry,
account.
Michael. I'm not going to be. I won't. I would be ignoring you on DMs anyway. So email me. Um,
Yeah, Mark tolerates me. He's my big brother, He's so much
yeah.
older than me.
Oh, hey, come on. Now.
You see, he's
10
got the
days.
braids in his beard. I don't have any in
Uh,
mine, right? So, that's the wisdom talking right there. See,
and I
can't.
can't shave it. I can't shave it because Amy says she doesn't like my face. She doesn't like my face. She likes it a little covered up. I'm like, I don't know how to take that, babe. Anyway, all good. So add drawers if you can. If it's in budget, try to think about that. They didn't for obvious reasons, and I think it's just good to mention. If going forward, when you can add them. Obviously, there is drawers. There's lots of drawers there. They're all top drawers. You have the
Right.
bottoms, and so that's all good. I want to mention this plug, this outlet. So this is an island. Obviously, it's great to have an outlet in an island. Someone mentioned to me in a comment, I think it was a comment on one of my videos, that new building codes are saying you don't necessarily need electrical in an island. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. I don't know.
Mm.
I've always known islands to need to have some kind of electrical because if you're using something on that island, what are you going to have, an extension cord? Like, how are you going to, use something on there that you might need to use? So, that being said, I do still say, yeah, you should definitely have some kind of electrical in your island. Now, the placement, I'm just putting this here like this. Sometimes in a 24-inch cabinet, actually most times, the drawer rails are 22 inches,
I
meaning you
see.
have this space in behind, and you can mount that up and a little higher to the top. This is obviously mounted lower underneath the drawer, and I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying there's other ways that you can do that as well. If you want to have it higher, you can, unless he has full extension 24-inch deep rails, which normally you don't. Normally they're only 22 inches, and so that would be just something to think about when you're doing that. He's saying we had electric already in the island, and the countertop suggested a USB. Oh, the contractor suggested a USB charger. Yeah,
Okay, so there's a USB. Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
yeah, that's good to have. So yeah, I think it's great too because if you're sitting there, you're probably sitting there sipping your coffee. You're probably going to be on your phone, and you want to have some way to charge it. So it's always good to have that. So really cool. This is a really nice kitchen, and
And
I
I have a question
think
about the island, and that's my small critique. I wanted to know, with a kitchen that size, like Nick, why did you decide not to go with a little bit larger of an island? Because it looks like you had the space for it just on the angles that I'm seeing, and I know there are reasons. I'm just asking. Everybody has decisions to make, but I think it it may have done well with maybe just a little bit, maybe a third longer than it is, because
I'm
people
guessing
like,
it's budget.
yeah.
I was going to mention that too. The island size. It looks like there's a lot more room for a bigger island, but again, with the fact that this is, you want to get the kitchen
Mhm.
within reasonable price range, and you can't just keep adding and adding and adding. So I'm guessing it's a budget decision. But yeah, I was kind of thinking that as well. So he can let us know. That's my guess.
Mhm. But look at
And I'll
those
use
windows.
that to. Oh, here we go. He's saying that contractor actually suggested a bigger island, but it would have um,
Interfered with the other.
interfered with. Oh, okay, okay, all right, all right. Let me just go back and And yeah, I mean, sorry, I got all these. It gets hard to. All right. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, if you don't have enough clearance, or you think that oven door is going to be a problem, then yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those are decisions to make. I will say this too, Jack, is that and I always like to have the biggest island possible
Mm-hmm.
in a kitchen, but that's not always the best either. Just because you can have a bigger island doesn't mean you absolutely need one. So you have to make sure it's designed well within the space, and if the oven is going to be a factor there, then that's definitely something to think about.
And not only that, but he's putting this together to sell. So
Yeah,
the new owner, if they want a bigger one at some point down the line, they can they can put that in there.
exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. So maybe push the island back a bit. Uh, yeah, island spacing is something to consider as well. You got to think of what's going on behind and in front, and yeah, it looks like there's probably lots of room there overall for maybe a bigger island, but I don't know if obviously it's not a deal breaker in
Mm-hmm.
this kitchen. There's an aisle, there's seating, you have extra prep space. It's within budget, and it gets the job done. And again, you're selling the house,
Mm-hmm.
so
And
usually, some this is not. No one's going to be like, well, if it had a bigger island, I maybe would have bought it, but
right. I certainly wouldn't. Is that island? It looks like it's a different color from the rest of the cabinets, or is that the
it
light?
does. It looks gray to
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, to me it looks gray, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it does to me too. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, yeah. Which is cool. Little
Yeah,
two-tone, nice
two-tone look. Yeah.
countertops. You got
Oh,
the
and
the
he's
ceramic
got the
tile.
fridge. Is that the Mark Tobin fridge I just saw?
Yeah. It's got a bigger screen. I didn't point it out. Well, sort of pointed at it. It does look like it, actually. Great fridge. Great fridge. Yeah, he's
Do
saying
you
yes,
watch,
it's a
go
great
ahead,
island.
Nick. Tell us. Do you watch Mark Tobin on your fridge? You do, don't you? Tell us.
He didn't
Be
send me a
truthful.
picture of my video on there like Vonda did, so Vonda's in
Yeah,
the lead.
Nick, you missed an opportunity there. I mean, if you were trying to
Yeah.
get brownie points, since we're voting at the end, Vonda's got Mark's face all over her kitchen right now. So you know.
Yeah. Cool. He's saying the doors, yeah, so with the door swing and stuff. So it's all good.
Mhm.
This is a great kitchen, Nick. Great job. Honestly, like it's a
Excellent.
really, really beautiful, clean space. And you can it's installed to the ceiling as well. And you brought it pretty close to the ceiling. So obviously your ceiling is level. Otherwise, that could be a real issue. And these look like frameless cabinets, and even though they're frameless, there is a bit of a reveal that you can allow that door to swing. So that doesn't look like it'd ever be a problem. There's clearance there, and it's a nice clean look. I like it.
Absolutely.
Um, Good question. Does the fridge go with the house? In Australia, houses don't have fridges. You got to buy your own. Well, in
Mhm.
North America, it comes down. Well, I know in Canada, and probably in the U.S. too, Jackie. It comes down to the deal with between the buyer and the seller. When you're
Yeah.
when you're buying a home, you say like, here's what's included, here's what's not included, and it's not the fridge is always or not always included. It's just whatever the seller is doing, or what the buyer is requesting. Like,
Right. And I think you can like, well, in the United States, I know if it's a brand new build, like new construction or whatever, usually they don't even have one in there because they leave the nook for the new buyer to pick the fridge
right.
that they want. Um I think it is assumed though, if you're buying a house from someone else, that the appliances that you see will be there when the owners leave. I don't think that that's written down anywhere, but that's the assumption that that they're not
Yeah.
in those with them when they go.
Yeah, it's definitely in the contract, I know in Canada, because I just sold a home, and that was the thing, is like, here's what's included, all the appliances, the furniture, everything was included.
Mhm.
Um, and so, that's all there, the lawyer has all that,
Mhm.
and away you go. But we could have easily just said, well, we're keeping the appliances, and then that would have been what they have to deal with, or buy their own or not buy the house or whatever. So yeah, that's really good question though, and it's a good question in the fact that fridges are different sizes, so it's really convenient if the house is sold with the fridge
Mm-hmm.
because it already fits. And this is a great fridge because it's got a screen on it, so why wouldn't you want that? And if you were to purchase a new fridge, finding one that it fits that exact space, you may not get one that fits exactly. I mean, you probably would because they're all pretty standard usually, but there are different sizes. So
Right.
I like that. And plus, who wants to move a fridge? Exactly.
Right. And Trina says here, generally in the US, if it isn't specifically excluded, it's expected to stay. So,
Okay, good to know.
mm-hmm.
All right, so great job, Nick. Awesome kitchen. Yeah, thank you for
Thanks so much.
doing this. Thanks for being on. Thanks for sending them and being brave enough to
Oh,
trust
wait,
us,
did we
trust
talk?
me
I
with your
think
kitchen.
there's a toe kick register. Did I see that?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, underneath the
Yeah,
sink, I
that's
believe. Ooh.
something I rarely see. So I wanted to see if I could, get a closer look at that. I like it. Yeah, that's what that is, right? Right up under the sink. Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
it looks like a toe kick register. Sometimes it's like a one of those vacuums. What do they call those? Those
Uh, I
you
know
know
what
the
you're.
vacuum? I can't think of
Yeah.
the name of it, but sometimes they have that in the toe kick as well. So you can just sweep everything into that, and
Oh,
in
that's
central
clever.
vac, and it sucks it into the central vac. But this looks like a vent.
Uh-huh.
He might have mentioned. He might say what it is. Cool.
Oh, it is. Oh, what? Oh no,
Well, that's
Trina.
Trina. Trina's saying she just is saying that that's the name of it. Yeah, central vac. Toe kick register. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Was there before, and we just continued it.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. It's better than having it on the floor right there while you're trying to wash dishes. So
It's a garage for
excellent.
the Roomba. Maybe so. Yeah, well, you're getting compliments on this one too. People loving the cabinets. It's a really nice
Yeah.
look. So
And
we're doing well.
love it.
Awesome. So again, thank you, Nick, for sending those, and thanks for being on tonight to help give us some context to that. So we're gonna look at the next one here, Jackie, and this next one is a renovation that happened in 1985. So that's what we're looking at. So this kitchen hasn't been updated. The homeowner bought the house, and this had been already done to it, this kitchen. And so this is a kitchen it's older. Obviously, it's an 85, and hasn't been like recently updated. So this will be a great example of just ways that you can try to make your kitchen space workable for you without redoing everything. Because that's part of it too. And we all of us can't do renovations. All of us aren't building new homes. Like you did stuff to your kitchen to upgrade it.
Right.
But you kept
But
the
I couldn't
same
afford.
cabinets and
Yeah, I couldn't afford
all that, right?
whole renovation, so I just worked with what was there. And yeah, those are
Yeah.
1970s cabinets I have, but they look
Right.
nice. I mean, I did to them, but yeah, I couldn't afford to just overhaul everything. Right.
All
All
right. So
right. So
this is viewer number 3. They can identify themselves if they want. I know they're on here because I just seen their name. And so this is okay. We're looking at 2 pictures here. Obviously, I
yeah,
just put them side by
two
side.
of them
Okay.
are
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Just 2 different angles.
Mhm.
Obviously, the kitchen doesn't look that way. And so this is, and they sent me quite a bit of information. So I just want to read through some of this to give us some context.
Okay.
Again, like I said,
Oh,
1985,
Trina
it had
says
been
it's her.
done for them. Trina says it's mine. So thanks, Trina. So this is Trina's kitchen. She's on all the time. And yeah, son, yeah, man, send me some pics.
I
Cool.
think this can be a rolling theme every couple of months. It's roast time, right? Oh, roast.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're not really roasting. This is nice. So maybe it was a little clickbaity, the title. But it's all good. So, what else did she say? We'll get into some of these stuff. She talks about the curtain here. We'll talk about that in a second, why the curtain's there. We'll get into that in a minute. But the big thing is that
Okay.
when they got in here, there's no function, hardly any bank of drawers, though. Just there's cabinets.
Right.
You'll notice there's a chimney there. that's in the way. It's sticking in the way, and so there's a chimney there that you have to deal with. And the only thing they had was their corner cabinet and their pantry. So just some context of what they're dealing with. And this is a kind of a smaller space. One thing I notice about older kitchens, I mean, in the 80s at least, maybe before, they weren't. Now kitchens are so different. They're there was no YouTube channels talking about kitchens, obviously not in the 80s, but nobody was really concerned about the overall idea of functionality, it seems. It's just, this is the room, we throw in cabinets, and kind of move on to the next thing. Kitchens now are like totally different thing. I mean, my whole livelihood is just to talk about them. So it's just a different world from the 80s. So this is just to give some context. This is an older kitchen, and the way they thought about kitchens was totally different. So, and
what year
someone's
did you
saying, is
say
it
this
carpet?
is? What year was it, you said?
85.
85, okay.
And the house she's saying is built in 1918. It's over 100 years old. So it's, older house.
So is that, Trina, is that brick original, or was that with the 85 renovation? Do you know?
Looks like a chimney, right? I'm
Maybe
assuming
it's
it's
the
a chimney.
angle that I'm looking at, because I see it as backsplash under some of the cabinets.
Yeah, there's backsplash here, but I'm thinking the actual chimney is a chimney. And let me see. She's saying the previous owner carpeted and laminate countertop. So
carpet.
all right, well,
okay.
Trina, you're not gonna get any love on the carpet in the kitchen, so just we'll just say that off the bat. And I don't think you. I know you probably know that. It's
the color
shallow.
complements the other. It's the color of the carpet, like it complements the brick.
Right.
See?
It's all good, Jackie. Thank you. Jackie's gonna keep me on track. Trina hates it too. It's okay, everybody. So she hates it too. It's all good. So there is a chimney there, she said. So you're dealing with this with any kind of kitchen. So if you had to renovate this, you still have to deal with that chimney. You still have to figure it out. In 1985, they did the best they could. So let's go with. I want to point out this. It's hard to tell, but that's a corner sink. So again, this window placement is just where it is. And if we go back here, it looks like a whole wall of windows. There's another window to the right, and why they didn't move that sink, I don't know why they put it in the corner. That's beyond me. So part of my roast here, I'm not roasting Trina. I'm roasting the fact that the previous owners also did some stuff that I don't agree with, and she hates the corner sink too. So we're all on the same
in
page.
vogue though for a while? The little butterfly sink thing was like a thing for a little while. People liked it.
Maybe. I didn't think it was in the 80s though, but it could have been. It could have been.
I have a friend in Chicago, and yeah, they have that exact corner sink in their kitchen as well. And their house was built around like that time, like the 80s. So
might have just been the new thing.
Yeah, it might have been
there was one in my 80s.
You did a video on fads versus trends. It might have been like a fad, and
it could have been, yeah, I think it was.
Stayed for some folks. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fad and it faded. Things on timeout. Nick saying he loves the exposed brick. I like the exposed brick too. Yeah. I do like that. I think it's a very, I think it's still a pretty trendy and modern look actually to have the exposed brick. Trina, I'm going to tell you one thing. You could paint, if you painted these. I'm not saying white is always the best way, but if you even painted these cabinets white or cream, I think you'd bring a ton of light to this kitchen and totally revamp this space.
Right.
And like even new laminate.
Because the brick has some, white highlights in it. So it would all still mesh together, and it would give it a totally different character in there. Just a little bit of paint. That's a couple $100 for the good stuff.
Yeah. She's saying she hates the brick too. I actually like the brick.
I like it too.
I wouldn't touch the brick, but you could definitely paint this cabinet. Unfortunately, the sink base is the sink base. I think if you're going to renovate this kitchen, I'd rethink about where that sink was definitely going to go.
Mhm.
Um, and I think you have room there to figure out that you could move that a little bit. But it is what it is, and you're dealing with what you're dealing with. And I think she says something about the corner sink. Da, 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 da.
I've
Anyway, we'll
also
keep going here. I'm not going to read through everything.
Well, looks like there's a bit of a back and forth about the wood grain versus painting white. So the sim architect is like, do not paint.
Yeah.
Um,
I am not, when it comes to wood, I know people hate painting over wood. I get it. But okay, sell the doors and get new white doors that aren't wood. But I think if you painted this, it would be, it'd be very doable, and it's something you could actually do, and it's way easier to do that. um, what I'm gonna say is it's way easier to do that than to sand it and restain it. To bring this down to its original oak is
right.
a real task. Now,
Yeah.
if you're up to it, go for it. You can brighten it up too, because natural like oak is very popular right now. And you could also do that as well. So, the sim architect, yeah, I do agree with you. You don't have to paint it. You could definitely sand that down to its original. It's a huge job. But either way, that would be one of the first things I consider doing in this kitchen if I wasn't going to, completely renovate it, and then just put a clear coat on the natural oak, and it can look really beautiful. Okay, I'm pointing to ladles. You can look at this and say, okay, a little bit cluttered, right? But let me ask you this: what else are you going to use that countertop for? There's a big chimney going through it. And so it's not usable space. So this is actually pretty decent area to store
Mhm.
things that you need to grab and go and do stuff with. So I am not against storing things on countertops, especially when it's where you use the things
Mhm.
and it's convenient. You can hide it somewhere, but then you got to go get it all the time. So if you're using this stuff, it looks like there's jars of stuff that's obviously used. You've got your utensils there, and that countertop, like I said, it's not where else you can't. You're not going to be chopping and prepping anything there. So
Mhm.
I think this is fine to do something like this. Thanks for thinking I'm not crazy. No, you're
I
not crazy.
don't. And wood it's a total trend right now in
Yeah,
kitchens. I love a wood look and that wood grain. Is it the Japandi style? Is that the one where they like to have a lot of wood
yeah,
grain?
natural light wood. Yeah, wood,
Yeah.
maple usually, but wood of some sort.
Yeah.
With little black accents is quite nice. So yeah, I think you go a long way with that. So you can see here the fridge is in a different room. There's this kind of separate back room, which again, due to the architecture of the house, due to just the way this house is designed, the kitchen's kind of all over the place in a sense,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's just what you get with some of these older homes. In 1918, they weren't thinking about an open concept kitchen. They weren't
Mhm.
thinking about a kitchen triangle. They weren't thinking about accessibility and function. It was just, you know, you got to deal with what you got to deal with. So this is what you have to deal with in an older home like this. So this is good to see, because some of you do have older homes and you're like, what do I do? I can't knock out walls. I can't do anything. So you got to put your
Sadly,
fridge in,
I
in another
don't
room.
either. I sympathize.
Yeah, you have to make it work. All right. And to the right there, you can see her pantry. She said this is one of the more usable spaces of her kitchen. And
Mhm.
yeah, I agree. Tons of storage. And then she mentioned too that she added shelves. So we'll see in a second here that she added a bunch of things to this kitchen to make it usable for her. And that
Mhm.
is really important to do, to make it functional for the way you use the space. So you can see a little close up here of that. And this is a shallower pantry. So let me just go back one. You can see that it's shallow. It's not a full depth pantry. So, I love shallow depth storage. And here's a great example that everything's right there within reach. She added shelves. You can store everything. You can get at what you need to get at. There's no point in putting a pullout in something like this, because, what are you pulling out? It's all right there. So, and Maggie's didn't even have fridges in the 1918. So there you go.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
the ice box, right?
Right. Yeah. probably had a cellar or,
Oh yeah.
you know. And here's the range again, you know.
I'm gonna picture this in terms of where it is in the kitchen.
I'll
So,
tell you where I think it is. Okay. You see we're looking in?
right.
You see
I'm looking.
the rolling pins on the left?
I do see the rolling pins.
To the
Yes.
right, I think is the nook where
Around that
the range
corner.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I see. Okay.
I think it's in that little nook right there.
I gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
that doorway
perspective, right?
is where
Yeah.
you'd be looking in. Yeah. And again, you know, would you like to have some counter spot space? Yes. Can
Right.
you? No, you can't. There's no room. There's another doorway there. These older homes had 4 doorways and windows.
And
What are you
then
gonna
you've
do?
got, yeah, that is it. It's like a return register or something like right there at the base.
Yeah.
So, it's like hard to, I mean, it's the space where you can put the stove. I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
That's where it goes.
yeah, you don't have a whole lot of options on that.
Yeah, she's in the rolling pins. So the stove is facing the rolling pins. That's
Uh-huh.
what I think she's saying here.
Yep. So they're facing each other. Okay. Yep.
Now, vintage range for sure. Elizabeth says she loves the range. You don't like where are you gonna get a range? It's gonna this looks old and it still works. Like they
I
don't
bet
make
it's a
ranges like
Maytag.
that anymore.
I bet it's a Maytag. Is it a Maytag?
Looks like a Maytag.
Well, we'll see what she says.
Tony's asking why all the kitchen chackies? I'm not sure what chackies are. Anyone know?
Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes? What? Is that what it is? A tchotchke?
Yeah, are they? I think he means like knickknacks, right?
Oh, okay, okay. Well, some people are into knickknacks. If you're into knickknacks, then or tchotchkes, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
That's what I think is what. So Tony says yes.
He's saying yes.
Some people are into those,
Some people like.
Yeah,
Some people like.
it's the decor, right? Yeah. So, except the same architect says it means clutter, but some people like. Oh, she said it's not a Maytag from 1973. Okay. Yeah, some people like their knickknacks. And I know my aunt, she collects these little figurines, and she does have them in her kitchen, and she's got this little area with these shelves, open shelves like on the lower end of one of her cabinets, and she's got like a ceramic like goose and little ducks, and a hungry man with his hand on his fat belly, and yes,
Right.
tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes. I'm gonna use that word in a video. Tchotchkes coming up real soon. I'm gonna put that in a video.
Nick
She
says
says the
it's
stove is a Roper. I've never heard of that brand. Oh, I think this is the actual spelling. Tchotchke.
yeah, I've seen that.
Looks Russian. Is it like a Russian word?
It could be. That's how you
Tchotchke.
say Tchaikovsky is spelled like that. So maybe Tchotchke is spelled that way. But I like the slang version with the CHACH.
Tchotchkes. Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes.
Like it. Oh, it's Yiddish. All right. Well, someone
Yiddish.
into etymology here. It is Yiddish. Okay. All right.
European
Cool.
Yiddish. Yep.
Probably Yiddish. Oh, there you go. Eastern European.
Oh, Tony says either spelling is correct. Okay, cool. Because I'd seen it with the TCH spelling before.
Well, both of them are wrong to me because I don't know if I've ever even heard of a tchotchke before. I put my glasses back on, Jackie. This is getting serious.
That's right.
All right.
Well, now I'm going to switch mine up.
All right. That range, she said, Nick is saying it'll probably last longer than our next 2 ranges. The fact that it's still working and it's from the 70s is quite cool. So that's good. Let's move on.
Oh,
so she
here. Hi, Mavis.
Hey, cool. You're catching alive finally. Awesome. Well, I'm glad everyone who's on is on, and a lot of you show up all the time. So I'm so appreciative that you guys show up. Okay. So she mentioned you added all kinds of these things, just ways you need to add ways to increase function. So just
Right.
pull out, or not, sorry, door mounted racks, everywhere. And it's just,
Those are
what
nice.
you just, it helps you access stuff. You don't have drawers. It's challenging to add drawers to these. You can see here, this is the chimney that comes through. So this is the wall that has the chimney, and you
Mm-hmm.
can see that it's shallow there. So you,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be able to do something. This is just what you have to do in order to add that. So that's really cool. There's the Lazy Susan, which she said was
All
one of the
right.
things that was actually a benefit for her in this kitchen. Now, this one's attached to the door, it seems. So I think the door rotates in, through, and around. She did
That's the kind
mention to
of
me
grandma.
in her email that she's never lost anything off the back of it. So, all right.
Yeah, my grandma has the one where the doors are attached, so they go around
Yeah.
too.
But again, like, it looks like she has an extra shelf put on there, like that wiry mesh type of shelf.
Right.
You just have to find ways. There's something on the door just for like little cutting boards or something. So
Nice.
again, in kitchens like this, you have to just make shift and do things that work for you. And so I just want to highlight that. And it's all it's all important. And if this is one of the more functioning parts of your kitchen, then that's good. Lean into it, use it, add more function to it. So that's good. This is the curtained cabinet. So there's the curtain next to it. This is with the curtain off it. And she said that there was a dishwasher and it broke a few years after she moved in. And they said the local appliance sales repair shop said because of how seldom I was using it at the time, I ate mostly meals out, and he didn't recommend replacing it. I've never heard of a local salesman for appliances.
He's
Like,
like, I'm not trying to do the
what was that guy
paperwork.
thinking?
He's like, it's too much paperwork. I'm not trying to do that.
I don't wanna make a sale today. I just I wanna go home. It's 4:45, like, I don't wanna do
Yeah, that's
anything.
right.
Um,
We close in 10 minutes unless you
I
can
was
come
more
back.
shocked at the fact that he didn't, like, try to sell her a new dishwasher than saying, "Hey, listen, you never use it, don't bother." Um,
I like those types of persons though, because they're not going to try to sell you something you don't need, unless he's just being lazy. But I like people to level with me, because then
Well,
I'll go.
that's true. I get it, but you're trying to make margin for the company here. Come on. But that was interesting. I was more shocked at that than the fact that she had a curtain. So and so what she did is she bought this at IKEA. So it's an IKEA cabinet
I see.
and put the curtain in front of it. I'm gonna tell you something.
IKEA for the win.
The curtain works here,
Yes, yes, it does.
right? The curtain doesn't
Yes.
curtain doesn't always work, Jackie.
Yeah, I really feel like she should have gotten a curtain that, with a pattern that's more in the design aesthetic of the space. Um, but the actual curtain itself does work in this space. Yeah, you
Yeah.
see the curtain. I don't think it's out of place for this kitchen. No.
Yeah. So here again, you have the pullouts. She added some little bins and stuff that she can. Oh, that's the next one that she can pull out and use. And so overall, like, just finding ways to make this work for you is really important, and I think that's good. So Trina, great job at just making this workable. And I will just say, if it comes down to the two changes you could do, is I think pretty low budget. If you want to go that route, I mean, you can do a full renovation for a bigger budget. But if you want to go something that was lower budget, definitely go with either painting or staining these, and a new laminate. I think you'd be
Yeah, those
miles
two right
miles
there would
ahead.
pick it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
should go very far with just those two changes.
yeah. Bluebell saying I'm not a fan of the curtain, but I love making it work. That's important. I mean, I'm not a fan of a curtain either. Like, I wouldn't put a curtain in my kitchen because it's not something I like. But it does fit in this kitchen with the age. It does look like it fits,
Yes.
and the fact that you're making it work. Because how are you going to match these doors? You're never going to match these doors. So you either have just two odd doors or drawer
Hmm.
fronts, or you put a curtain that obviously looks like a curtain,
Hmm.
and you're not, so it doesn't. It almost like it doesn't look out of place for that reason. So
I'd
I
have
thought that
to
was good.
see it. My brain starts thinking she could also probably do a screen, some sort of like screen option, like people have those weaved, like basket weave kind of screen looking things,
All
and
right. Yeah.
darker stain. She could use one of those as a door.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's true.
get away from like the curtain. But I mean, if you like the curtain, I can't say that it doesn't work here. It does work. So
Mhm.
it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if you're looking for a way to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, there are design solutions like that might work.
Yeah, she's saying low budget paint, new flooring, new countertop. And yeah, new flooring. You're gonna get no love on the carpet. The new backsplash. Yeah, for sure. I really she'd
I'm
like to
telling you, my
remodel your
grandma
room.
had that pea green carpet in her kitchen for 40 years. So it's a thing. Yeah, people have it. Darlene just joined. Hi, Darlene.
Darlene's late. She's here. You missed. Yeah. Well, I have actually two more. If you want to see Jackie's Kitchen, we did a full episode with Jackie's Kitchen.
Yeah.
And we're getting pretty late, so because you're on, Jackie, I'm gonna be nice to you. I'm not gonna roast your kitchen. Um,
Yeah, you guys can see there's a whole just
I'll I'll
live
put
of
a
me
link to
on.
it when I finish the live stream, so you can go right to that. You can see her kitchen. Um, I will show you a picture of it, but first we want to go to our next kitchen. So let's go on. So thank you, Trina, for sending those, being brave enough to go under the fire. This is another kitchen, and I know this viewer's on as well. Hopefully, still. And this kitchen's massive, honestly.
Yeah, that looks
Um,
like you could have a banquet in there. Wow, that's nice.
yeah. Oh, Trina mentioned this. I had multiple kitchen designers give me plans, but I don't like any of them, and we were over budget.
Oh, can I say something about that? I know this kitchen designer, and he will do a design consultation with you, and take an hour of your time. You go in there with your ideas and how you'd like to, see your kitchen done and what your budget is. And within an hour, you guys can kick around a few ideas, get a few design plans, and this person is highly skilled and comes highly recommended. His name is Mark Tobin, and you can find out how to get this design consultation in the description below.
You're a pro. Wow, that's really good. Like one take. How do you do it in one take?
Because I
Man,
have
you
no
should see my blooper reel. It's hilarious. Um,
time.
all right. So this kitchen here is massive, and there's a lot going on. And I don't know if I think she's still around, but okay. So let's just go through. I want to go through some of the things here that she mentioned. These are fridges. There's 3 fridges. I think one's a freezer. So big kitchen, 3 refrigerators. Let me just get my notes here on this one. So she said this. I have some of your best hated things. All right, it's Maggie's because she's saying she's admitting to the 3 faucets. This is Maggie's kitchen, and so that's awesome. And here's the thing. She's saying, I got some of your most hated things. She said she has a ceiling fan. It's a 16-foot variable high-speed homogeneous fan. Well, so that sounds like a monster. I don't think I have a picture of that particular one, but there's a ceiling fan. So that's good.
That's
There's
awesome.
a corner sink and a corner cabinet. And that's, we'll see that in a minute. Because there's also 2 sinks right here that we see, and they're not corner sinks. So there's another corner sink somewhere else we'll look at. And the microwave is not over the stovetop, and it's only used to melt popcorn or make popcorn and stuff. So again, another non-OTR kitchen. So that's good to see. I love that.
I think Mark was only picking up the kitchens that people sent that didn't have OTRs, and I think he did it on purpose
Come on
because
now, come on.
I
I'd
have
never
on
do
good
that.
authority that there are lots more OTR kitchens out there than there are non-OTR kitchens.
You're
So
probably right. You're probably absolutely right.
you're being finicky about that,
Well, I
but
am. That's fine. It's my prerogative.
it is your show, Mark. What can I say? I'm just here for a reason. That's it.
Well, she says she has a ton of my favorites. All right, so she has full extension drawers, which I love a full extension. There's drawers everywhere, which we know that I love. No uppers or exposed shelving. We'll look at those cabinets in the back because those are a little different than uppers. And there's a separate pantry, so there's another whole room that's a separate pantry. So that is excellent. She sent me a lot of pics, so I'm going to go through only a few of them here.
Thank you,
And then she
Mickey.
said, "Oh, what's
Love
he
you.
saying? What?" Look, Jack, you can kick anybody out you need to, right? So if you got to kick them out,
All right, how do I kick you out, Mark?
yeah, you probably can. That'd be hilarious. Then she said her refrigerators are Samsungs. They're convertible,
Nice.
um, and they cost less than a fancy French door. So one is used for fresh food and leftovers. The middle is a freezer, and the third is a condiment refrigerator with all my prepping
Mm,
ingredients. You have a condiment refrigerator. That's impressive. And we'll look at a few other things as she goes on. But she does say the sink is a 4-foot prep sink. Four
oh,
foot.
so you can take baths in there.
Yeah, you literally can. So this again, so that's the fridges and the freezers. So that's really cool. This is I want to mention this about the lighting. A lot of these chandelier lightings, whatever, which is good room light. I would say that in most kitchens over your island, if you have light that is a little more penetrating on the top, is usually what I would go for. Again, that Maggie's going for a particular look here with this chandelier style. So I'm only mentioning that for someone who's watching, saying, what kind of lights should I put over my island? If you want something where you're getting just more room light, then this is sort of the style that works. There is light on the countertop, but if you want something that's very concentrated, then something that is obviously more concentrating, pointing down on that space, is usually a good choice as well. So I just bring that up to bring that up, not that this is wrong or right, because it's all, again, the decisions that go behind this, I'm not privy to. So I'm just only mentioning this as an onlooker, like we all are. All right, I want to look at these cabinets, because these are like wall cabinets, but they're not. They're mounted on the countertop surface, and they're inset into the wall, which is really cool. And this next picture will show you a couple of them with the doors open.
Nice.
So you have a space for all your small appliances. And this is great, because where else are you going to store things like this that is
Right.
easy to access? It
Oh,
looks like they're on kitchen towels. And
yeah.
so I'm assuming that's because they're easy to slide out, because they probably have rubber bumpers on the bottom, like, to keep them in place. So I'm guessing that's like a pro hack from Maggie. Just put them on something that you
Tony's
can
called
easily slide.
an appliance garage. It is, but it's a lot,
Yeah.
schmancier than an appliance
Yeah.
garage.
So it's appliance garages, but garages, how, I don't know.
It's a garage, Mark. I'm your friend, so I'm going to try to help you.
Thank you, garage. That's not how I say it, right? I get there's certain things I say that people pick up on in my comments. It's like, I know you're Canadian because you said garage.
We make allowances. That's what friends do.
Yeah, not fancy kitchen towels. The thing that's cool is that they're like, I know that you slide them out so much easier, and that mixer is heavy, so you don't have to worry about picking it up. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, I just thought that was
PS
interesting.
says appliance garage mahal.
All right, whatever.
Very appropriate. The garage
Whatever.
mahal.
Come on, making fun of me.
No.
Yeah, Nadia's saying this kitchen is so
like
unique.
Taj Mahal size garage, right?
Yeah, it is a very unique.
Do you see my daughter poking her head in
muffled the noise. Oh, hey.
This is the one who's graduating. She's the one.
Hey, sweet. Oh, yeah?
Getting her degree on Saturday.
Hello.
So.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You made your mom proud. She's been talking about you.
Oh, yes, I know. That's a good thing.
Give me that one. And he's been causing ruckus in the background right here. That's the grizzlet. Sorry. Stop it. Okay. Yeah, they're going to get us some dinner.
Nice.
Yep.
What are we getting?
I don't know. It's going to be a surprise to me. Oh, they said potbelly. Anybody eat potbelly sandwiches?
All right, here's the clearances. Let's move on to this one. They mentioned that the clearances were 5 feet between surfaces. So that's a great clearance for a kitchen. This is obviously a very massive space. The seating on the island, I think she said, is 8 people, plus there's a couch. Yeah, 8 and seat 3 on the kitchen couch. So they've got a kitchen couch. They've got 8 seats, massive island. It's just, this is a really big, expansive space, really nice big windows. And we'll look at the other section that's down there. But this is what I love about kitchens like this that have just full extension drawers
Mhm.
and still enough clearance. You can walk through there easily and use them if they're both open if you had to. 5 feet is a big space. In my previous kitchen, I had 5 feet of a clearance, and I have to say I really did like it. So you can think, well, that's pretty far away, but it's not really that far away, and it's really workable. So that's really cool. This other sink here is an 18-inch square bar sink she mentioned, and so this is just for other tasks that she's doing. Obviously, Maggie is you know into cooking,
Yeah.
and so it used to be a hay barn. So yeah, so there you go. This was a barn that is a kitchen now. So this is a cool space. I mean, the fact that what it was and what it is now, really, really cool. Because as I was looking at this, I'm thinking, this isn't a space that looks like it ever had a kitchen before, because it's very unique. And
Yes.
so the fact that it does have one now is really, really cool.
She says it's cork flooring
Nice.
from Canada.
Hey, from Canada. Hey.
Hey, from Canada.
There's the candidate. There's the sink, eh? Big old sink, undermount, and it's a workstation sink, offset drain. I think it's a single drain. Really, really cool. If you're gonna go workstation, I say go big. Go big. You know, you
We
can get
definitely
smaller ones. We've seen Vondas that are really. She had one of the nicer ones, Vonda, with the apron front. But if you really, really want to go with a big sink like this, this is the way to do it. Go big with a workstation sink. Really, really cool.
and I
Beautiful
don't know.
countertop.
Is that granite or quartz? That is just so beautiful. I love the veining. It is just very elegant.
Yeah, I
It's
think
like
it's
a
granite.
river flow. Love it.
Looks like granite, but I could be wrong. What is it? Single drain for sure. She's saying, yeah. So let us know what the countertop is. It looks like a granite, but really, really nice. Here it is, another look of the island, massive island.
Look at those striations. Look at that veining. That is just so nice. Almost like an acrylic pour or something. It's just nice. I love it.
She's saying it's granite, but is it quartzite? I'd love to know, because it does look like a quartzite, which is just a granite, of course.
Mhm.
But yeah, this is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, and I like how those bar stools with the that tufted look around the bar
Yeah.
stools, it complements the granite and also that little rug that she's put under there. So nice.
Hashtag goals.
I'm telling you, when I grow up, I want to be like Maggie.
So let me look what else here. I'm not really roasting anything here because it's just so unique and cool. This is the other section that's down the other side by those windows. It looks like it's some kind of like one of those Japanese grills. What do they call
Oh,
those?
like the hibachi?
Hibachi grill, yeah. Looks like something like that. I'm not really sure, but look how it's cut into the countertop. And then there's a cooktop there to the left.
I
And then
see
if
it.
we move on, there's then to the left of that is this other corner sink. But you know what? Like, you already got a 4-foot sink and you got an 18-inch prep sink. So I'm not gonna I'm gonna fault you on the corner sink in this section at all.
Yeah,
So this is
that's
like a separate like serving area, but it's like a whole almost separate kitchen
I love
almost.
it. So she's talking about the granite, saying that the original plan was black countertop, but the owner's daughter was getting married and made me a deal. So she jumped on it, and I don't blame you.
That's cool. It's called an Evo grill. Awesome. I don't know what an Evo grill is. Wow. So this is just definitely a very expansive space, and to be able to do something like this is pretty remarkable.
What kind of coffee maker is
Oh,
that?
that was someone else. Oh.
I recognize that one. That's a beautiful coffee maker. I'm sorry, I'm stuck on that. That probably lives up there, and so it should. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's where you use coffee makers. Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, some people want to hide all this stuff. So this isn't hidden in the appliance garage because it's probably, like you said, used so often that it just works. Um, so someone else says those Evo grills are amazing. Yeah. Maggie, I don't think I added the picture of the invisible fan. I know you sent it. I only added so many of the pictures, but yeah, it would be too much for me to go in and try to do that now. But yeah, there's a big ventilation system too on the ceiling, which is pretty cool, like industrial looking. Lisa's saying, yeah, Mark was right. You use the space kitchen very well. I like the things on the counter and that fit the kitchen. Yeah, really, really good. Oh, it's a Jura. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? I
There
knew
you
I
go,
liked
Jack.
her.
You know your
I
coffee
knew I
maker.
liked you, Maggie, because I had a Jura. I lost it in my divorce. That's how serious that machine is. But it's fabulous. I love them. I'm really jealous. Maggie, where do you live? Send me your address. I'm coming to crash on the couch. And because you have a kitchen couch, I'll just crash on that one. I'll bring my own sleeping bag. Just ignore me. I'll sit beside the coffee maker and set up an IV drip.
I just got my coffee maker at Walmart. So anyway.
Yes.
Nothing fancy.
Let's do coffee.
All right, so excellent kitchen. I'll just go back through a few. We'll just have another look here again. This is just, I like it because it's so unique and different. It's not a run-of-the-mill kitchen. It's not like your everyday space. Obviously it's in a barn. There's some just choices that you make because of that, and you can make those choices because you have the amount of room that you have. And well done overall. Just all these little areas that are really well thought out of. So, I can't really say anything about this at all because
yeah, and look at the contrasting ceiling up there. The color is like,
Yeah.
unexpected. I love it.
All the artwork. So really, really cool. I really like it. So we're gonna look at the next kitchen. I already gave you a hint of that one, Jackie, but I'm just I'll scroll ahead here off the screen, and yeah, we'll look at your kitchen for a quick moment. So I don't have this one. I didn't put your before on, but let's just say bright blue countertop for the win, and Jackie took care of it. So I guess I should have had the before picture, but this is with your countertop. Tell me what kind of countertop is this?
Yeah, that one is St. Laurent granite, and I got it on a deal. So all the granite plus the sink and faucet with install of all of the plumbing, and it was $3,500, and it was under 100 square feet. So it was a good deal. So the overall kitchen refresh, we'll call it, cost me about $7,000 to bring the kitchen from the 1970s into the 21st century.
Right.
And I think it was well worth the small amount of money that I put into it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that, and I know we talked about this on the other the other live stream that you were on with me a bit ago about the faux wood. It looks like wood in the picture, but tell us what that is.
Yeah, that is wallpaper because I have a soffit up there. And again, I was working with a limited budget and I wanted to make it look more modern. And so I put wood grain paper. Yes, that's right. I see that, Michael. That beautiful, it's a slimline Whirlpool OTR microwave. I love it. It's still working very well for me. I do not regret that decision, not one bit. But yes, that's my little piece of home. It's a very small U-shaped kitchen with 2 corners.
Yeah, well, hey, it is what it is, right?
A number of issues with it, but I do love this kitchen. Love what I was able to do with it, considering my resources and having to leave the footprint and everything. It's 2 years on now since I did that refresh DIY, and I still love it. I mean, 2 years later, I still love it.
Well, other people are loving it too, so that's cool. And
all right. Thank you, Nadia. See, I knew I couldn't remove the soffit. But by the way, we've had 2 units here in my community because we have like floor plans. I told you about this townhouse community. Two of
Yeah.
them who've done full renovations. One for 35,000, one for 50, and did the whole shebang. Their kitchens look brilliant. I mean, they're really awesome.
Sure.
And the return on investment, because both of them are selling, right? They're getting like double their money back, from investing in those kitchens. So I wish I had 50K for a new kitchen. But I did what I could with what I had.
Yeah, and that's important note is that you made it look really, really good. I know I don't have the before, but it's a world of difference.
Right. Yeah.
From
Vonda's
the
saying she
before.
wants
I know we showed the before, but when we were on before, but
Yep.
a world of difference. And so you don't have to have 50 grand. What Jackie did is she did what she could and made it look really, really nice. I mean, it looks really, really great. Beautiful countertop. Like what I was saying before, like with Trina, this would be like sort of that outcome is that you have a few little changes that are not, they're not everything. You're not tearing down a wall. You're not, creating a new layout even, but just these little changes. I mean, they're expensive. 7 grand is 7 grand, but
Right. Yeah.
in comparison and, for the value you're getting out of that, you can't really, what are you going to say about that? It's really, really elevates the kitchen. And like you said, you mentioned the word home. It's like, it's home.
Yes.
It's not just it's meant to be used and you love it. You obviously love it because you put that OTR in there. What am I gonna
And don't forget, I traded in my $1,700 Jura coffee maker for this $29 special Cuisinart coffee maker. I made the can I call it an upgrade? I'll just call it a lateral. I made the lateral move to like drip coffee, and it's right up there on the countertop.
It works. It works right where you need it. The coffee's good every morning. And if you get bored, you can start sanding it down and have the wood crane.
I could, but yeah, I do encourage you. The Sim Architect, please. You can go on my channel. I have the 1-minute kitchen makeover video that'll show it start to finish. These, the cabinets. There's no wood under there. I'll just tell you that there's no wood under there. It's just particle board with some like laminated something on top of it, and I just kind of made it look like something that it's not.
I did want to. There was a question about the corner. So, do you have trouble with that corner at all?
All the time. And here's when you try to open that drawer, it's gonna bump into the oven. I mean, there's just no way around it. And also when you swing the door open on that cabinet down there, it'll hit the glass front of the oven. So that's one of those things. I really did have an opportunity to fix that. I fell in love with this LG stove when I could have been focused on finding one that had a handle that was like flush, or a way to open it that was more flush mount. But I went with this one, and it was the same problem I had before. I have a new range now, but still the same problem with trying to pull that drawer out. So I have to open the oven door to fully extend that drawer. That is still a problem to this day. Yes.
There you go. That's what you got. You have to deal with it.
Yep.
Yeah, it is what it is. Ruth saying she caught a live. Thanks for all the advice on remodeling my kitchen, and you made me sound like I knew what I was talking about. That's good. That's really good. I'm super glad. Yeah, please give the video a thumbs up. That always is very helpful for sure. Yeah, so I mean, this is there's no link to Jackie's channel yet. I have to put it in later, so I'll put that in when we get finished up. But I'll put a link to Jackie's channel, and I'll put a link as well to that specific video, and or you can just Google Jackie of all trades there, and you'll find her pretty easily. You look for the glasses. We have one more kitchen. I promised I would roast my own. And so we're going to look at that, and then we'll get going. We've been on for quite a while, so Jackie, I won't keep you too much longer, but we're going to look at one more kitchen. This is the the ever-present kitchen of
Very white.
MTKD, seen in a lot of my videos. I do videos on this kitchen, what I love and hate about it. So it's no secret some of the stuff that I don't like. The story behind this is this was my grandparents' house that we got. We renovated it, took out every wall. This kitchen actually was a kitchen and a bathroom. So where the sink, where the pantry and the fridges was actually a tub, and then there was a wall, and then a kitchen. So this space was completely opened up, and we put this little kitchen. It's 15 by 8, not a massive big space. And when I designed this, I was not a kitchen design YouTuber. I had basically retired from the kitchen design business. I was teaching grade 5 at the time, and I was just like, just get a kitchen in here. I'll make it somewhat functional and be done with it. Now I'm doing this. I'm like, there's a few things I should have thought about when I did it. One being that we ordered the wrong range hood, and this is actually an under the cabinet mounted range hood that when we opened the box, we're like, oh, there's no chimney. So I had to make a chimney for it. It worked out because my beam is that color, so it is what it is. But it's a little odd looking shape because it's not actually meant to be installed that way, but all good. And yes, vanilla ice cream is the flavor of this one. You'll notice there's no OTR obviously in this, because even back then, Jackie, before I started this channel, I had already shifted away from the OTR clan. I have a lot of drawers, but this cabinet is pullouts, and I use to store my pots. I do find that having pullouts in a cabinet is a little bit cumbersome sometimes because you
got to open doors.
Open a door, open a drawer. It's kind of a nuisance, but it sometimes can be useful for pots. I should have had a bigger window, but it just wasn't in the budget. So again, this was on budget, and it just wouldn't work. But I would have liked to have a bigger window and open that space up a little bit. Here's my island. There's the big microwave we were talking about. So back to Vonda's kitchen, much easier to replace a microwave when it's not like this. This thing now is causing me problems, and I got to figure out a solution. So I'm actually, Jackie, going to do a video about me replacing this with doors and pullouts and getting rid of the microwave. So, spoiler alert, that's happening at some point in the future. I have to order everything yet, but that's something that's to think about. If you're putting in a built-in appliance, remember that if you have to replace that appliance, can you find that size? Do you want to spend that money again to replace it? Will it be under warranty? So
I can tell you right now, Mark, my microwave is still working.
Okay, whatever. I'm getting ribbed here. I don't have a lazy Susan, so that corner is blocked off. There's my microwave. I have a blocked off corner. So so there's those two cabinets operate independently of each other. I would never put a corner cabinet in a kitchen. I honestly wouldn't. My own kitchen, I would never do it. I always block them off. So so those are two independent cabinets. One's a pull-out spice cabinet, and one's just a regular cabinet that we store things in. But it is a beef of mine, that one cabinet that has the hinge door. There's no pull-outs in it. That's probably the one thing I should have added, is something that pulls out. It's just a shelf, but it is what it is at this point. And whatever. This is my this sort of shows the symmetry of the wall cabinets and not the symmetry on the base, because symmetry on the wall cabinets is more important in my opinion, because that's where your eyes go, because everything else kind of gets covered up by furniture and the island. And so I really was striving for symmetry with this one on the wall cabinets. And notice how they both open out away from my face when I'm standing there. So practice what I preach. When I designed that, there's that cabinet. That's my most annoying cabinet in my kitchen. So even me, I have an annoying cabinet, but it's less annoying than a lazy Susan. So I'll just stick with that. And that's the last one. So that's my kitchen. I'm rushing a little bit because my battery and my computer's is low, and I'm gonna die here in a minute. So we're gonna have to cut this live stream off, but it's almost been 2 hours. So listen, that's a quick roast of my kitchen. You can see my videos where I go through the things I love and don't love about my kitchen, of course, on my channel. If you want to go on a little deeper dive, that's fine. You can do that. But Jackie, what do you want to say before we leave? Want to end us with some words of wisdom?
Oh, well, what I really appreciated about today's live is that we saw kitchens in various different price ranges, in various different states of upgrade. And I really think, for me anyway, I see the kitchen as the heart of the home. And, the most important ingredient that you need to have is love. And, I know that sounds kind of corny, but for me, that is the most important thing. So it doesn't matter if your kitchen is from like 1950 or it's, from 2050. It's a very futuristic kitchen. If you put your heart into it and, you do everything that you can to make it function and work for you, then I think that that's a success story. So, on the video today, I don't think so much that we were comparing ourselves to ourselves, but we were looking at, we got a glimpse into each other's lives, right? So, and where you are in the design process. And I think, there's no better or worse. I think we're all pretty good as a community here. We all want to make our kitchens function better for us. And I think today that, just looking at the various kitchens that there are out there, just kind of demonstrated that fact that though, they all widely vary, we all have that in common. So loved it.
For sure.
I really enjoyed it.
No, that's great. I think that's important. So this wasn't much of a roast. This was more of a kind of just showing, hey, this is, like you said, Jackie, everyone has their heart put into their own spaces and they make it their own. And that's really important with a kitchen, is that you do make it your own. And we've seen that clearly. And, I much rather roast kitchens from real estate listings because I don't have to worry about offending someone too much. But this was really great. So I know some people have been saying that they've already sent me some pictures. So we'll do this again for sure. Like if some people want to send me some more, we'll do this again. I'm sure Jack would love to join me again. Eric saying thanks for the chat yesterday. Yeah, thank you, man, for having a chat. So I'll end with this. If you want to chat with me about a kitchen design consultation, there's a link in the description below. We get into the weeds about your kitchen, your needs, your functionality, what is going to help you create the kitchen that works for you, whether you have an OTR or whether you're using ready to assemble cabinets or fully custom, or you have 4 lazy Susans, whatever the case may be. It's about getting into those details and working out all those different things. So yeah, Eric and I and his wife had a great chat yesterday. So the link is below if you want to do that. Jackie, my plug is nowhere near as good as yours. So
okay, I have one more thing to say.
You have to help me out.
You know who you are. Hit the like button, okay? You know who you are. You have not done it yet. Hit the like button. It's just right there. Just hit that little thumbs up right there.
Easy to do. All right, everybody. We'll be back next Wednesday for more kitchen content. Maybe we'll do this again. I don't know if it'll be next. Oh no, next week. I do have another guest coming on. But it's going to be pre-recorded. But I think I'm just going to play the recording. I'm going to actually be live next week. But I'm going to be on. Well, it's like kind of like it's like a conference, an online like kitchen design conference type of thing. And I'm one of the kind of speakers, I guess, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And so the person who's putting that on, I'm going to have them on and we're going to talk about it. They're also a kitchen designer. They live in Chicago, I believe, kitchen designer for 17 years. And so we'll be chatting about that next week. And then this video coming out on Saturday, I am chatting about really insanely cool accessories that you can add to your kitchen that are not maybe the normal things that maybe you've seen every single day on every single picture. And definitely ones I don't talk about as much as other ones that I do love. So something to check out for sure. All right.
I won't be on next week. I have a reception. I have to work. So I'll be working. So I'll see you on the 1 week after next.
I'll bring the glasses, Jackie. I'll we'll see what we can do. I'll try to see if I can get another pair. Keep up with you. Jackie, stay on for a minute. We'll chat before you go, but everyone else, we're going to say goodbye and we'll see you on the next one. And God bless. Have a great week.